Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Nikki. I am a homeschooling mom to an only child going in the 3rd grade. Today I want to talk to you about some tips and how to get started planning your next homecoming year. So if you're a new homeschool mom, or you're just a seasoned one and you just want maybe some new to you ideas, then keep on watching. All right, if you're new here, I do a bunch of homeschool content, book flip throughs, reviews, book recommendations, you name it, I film it. So if you are new, please hit that subscribe button down below and be notified of all my upcoming videos. So let's get into this. I feel like I have a lot to talk about because it's hard to narrow things down, but it's not easy to plan a homeschooling year, and I guess it can be, and I have a few resources here that I can't wait to share with you. But for me, it's a little complex because I no longer am doing open and go type curriculum, so I'm gonna have to plan a little bit more than I'm used to, which if you know me or have been around, you know I hate it, but it's gonna work, it's gonna be fine. Anyway, so first thing up that I do is I like to take a printout on Calendarpedia of a split year. These are free and whole different types of calendars you can use. I choose the split year calendar and not the school year calendar because I need it to start in July, which is when we start our homeschool. So I print this out and I go over all the dates that I may be taking off, vacations, any type of holidays, special anything. I make note of it on the calendar of what I know. I know we like to take all of December off until New Year's, all the way from Thanksgiving to New Year's, so I make sure I block that off on our schedule, and then I know kind of what we're working with. So after I do that, I also use this as an attendance sheet. So every single day that we homeschool, I highlight a day. I'm not required, I don't need to, but it's just my own peace of mind knowing we're getting the stuff done that we need to get done. I have purchased a homeschool planner. I picked the Chaos Coordinator. I got it off Amazon. It is undated and basically just some blank pages of just simply planning out some weeks. I do not plan to do more than 2 weeks at a time. Life happens, things change, and I don't want to have to erase a whole lot. Anyways, next thing up is I go and I clean out my homeschool space. I go through all the curriculum. I try to get in my head what I think is going to work, what I don't think is going to work, what we're going to get to this year, or what needs to be pushed out. I try to just organize myself so that I have a good start to our year, and I'm not doing that as we go. That is just me. I feel just much better when everything is organized and stuff like that. So, resources. I use 2 very important books throughout the year. I feel like I've talked about them before, but it's been a really long time since I have, so I just want to run it by you guys again. I use this Home Learning Year by Year by Rebecca Roop, something like that. It's how to design a creative and comprehensive homeschool curriculum. This is if you're not using a curriculum, but it can also be used as like a guide if you have curriculum, but it's not mentioning certain things. This is grades all the way up through high school, gives you an idea on how to do all the things. So if there's certain topics or certain things that you just have not dabbled in with your curriculum, or you think your curriculum is lacking in any way, this is a great resource to start. So we are going into grade 3, so I will be piecing and going through this to see if there's anything that I need to add from this. It has every subject, and it just gives you some tips. It gives you tons of book resources, book recommendations, game recommendations, alternatives and supplements and all of that. So this is great. I will have a link below. It is I got mine off Amazon. You can get it new, used, whatever. Next up is, I always get this every year as well. This is a new edition, so it is nice and pretty and colorful compared to last year's. Even the inside of the pages are, which makes me extremely freaking happy. If you're not new here, you know that I love color everything, and I hate black and white anything. So anyway, these come in all grades as well, but this one is strictly for the grade year that you need. So we're going into third grade, so I'm going to use this for third grade. So it's basically, what does your child need to learn in third grade? It has favorite poems, literature, learning about language, world and American history and geography, visual arts, music, math, and science. So you can literally read this directly to your child. It is in the form where they will understand and comprehend. It has gorgeous pictures in it. And I definitely think it is worth the purchase. So for instance, you're going, oh crap, we don't do a whole lot of, we don't do any music in our homeschool right now. Nothing. So I can look in here and go, we have a music section. I can teach her how to read and write music. Literally awesome musical notes. It teaches you every single thing that you need to know on a third grade level. Art. Maybe we don't do a whole lot of art either, because art is definitely something I am not good at. So it's harder for me to just like get out the art stuff and do some art. So this talks about different paintings. It has connection, conversation, how to make a connection, how to talk and how to think, how to do it yourself. It talks about the different types of shadows and colors and everything in regards to art. Like I said, I'm not an art person, so you know. It teaches you how you can possibly recreate the same type of art picture. So much good nuggets in this book. What's also really great is, like, for me, for science this year, I mean, this has math. It has math problems. It has maybe different strategies that you can use with math as well. The pictures are great. So maybe if you needed some extra help, that would come in handy. So for science this year, we're doing literally like zoology. So if I wanted to go, you know, is there anything I can tie into zoology? As we're going through, I can try to piece things, or if we need a break, I can easily just read from this book. Different science things. So it's fascinating discussions. It has the cycles of life, the human body and its systems, the environment, accompanying activities and stories about famous scientists such as Copernicus and Alexander Graham Bell. Oh my gosh, it has so much. It has like everything that you could use as a spine, should you need it. So I piece through my curriculum and I go, and I just take you know, just some post-it notes, and anything that I think that's not going to be in the curriculum that we're using this year, I go through and I post-it note it, and I go, we'll get to that if we're bored or we need an off day. Then that's something we can easily jump to and take a break, or she can be drawing or doing art and I could be reading from the book and she's still getting the knowledge. So the next thing that I have to do is I have to make sure that last year is gone. I have to have this fresh slate in front of me on my homeschool desk. I have to have everything organized for the upcoming year, only what we're using for the upcoming year, unless there's stuff from last year we are going to do this year, which right now, just looking at it, I don't see any of that. So go on to HLSTA, look at your state, find out the laws, find out what you need to do to homeschool in your state, what subjects you need to do, if you have requirements, if you have to test, if you have to log your hours. I don't have to do anything. So this is purely for my own insane self. I save everything from the year and I stick it in a tub with her attendance record and I put it away. Now, if some curriculum doesn't fit, cool, I throw it out. It's not important to me. But what I can fit in here, if there's any loose papers, any spelling tests, just things like that, I keep it. And I'm only going to keep it for a few years and then I'm going to shift everything. And but this is just my weird way of thinking someone's going to knock on my door when I know that's not going to happen. Especially because I don't have to do anything. I don't have to record anything. But this is my version of doing a little portfolio. So I make sure all of last year's stuff is in this tub, put away, out of sight, out of mind. I know that we are going into a fresh year. Next thing is I grab my supplies as early as I can. I will be doing a video on what supplies I am getting. So I'm not going to show you that today, but I will say I do like to start early because I like to get it over with. I like to make sure I get what I want and not when things are picked through at the store. So I'd be realistic with myself. Do we really need pencils? Do I still have pencils from last year? Do I really need to buy that? Do I really need to buy folders? Why do we need folders if we're homeschoolers? We don't really need those types of organization, at least in our homeschool. Yours might be different. But so I really honestly do not buy a whole lot of supplies. I have our pencil sharpener. I have things like that. I get some crayons, some markers, just things that I know get used and will need more of at some point. So I go through our supply list and I just prepare myself for the new year. I go through and I go, okay, what are our books going to be? Are we doing read alouds this year? What are our read alouds? They're stacked back here somewhere. I go through and I go, okay, those are the ones we're reading together. What are the ones she's going to read independently? So I'm just trying to piece together in my mind, making sure I'm not forgetting things that I want to dabble in this year and organizing ourselves. The next and very last thing I do, at least right now, and I only do this because we are very schedule oriented people. Where did I put it? So if you've not heard of Canva, Canva is a great app. You don't have to pay for the pro, but you can use the free version and it has just as many great things. So I create a mock schedule for us. I know that, like I said, it's literally a mock schedule. I do laminate it, but it's one of those things that constantly changes depending on how our flow seems to go. So Canva, I print out, I type in daily, weekly calendar, and then I go through and I update it. So I printed out 2 different schedules. I have an A schedule and a B schedule because I'm not sure if she wants to do block scheduling this year or not. And then I have all her morning work on here. So these are all the things that she has to do in the morning before we get to our core subjects. So this gives her a general idea of like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, without having to ask me, because sometimes it's a pain to have to keep reminding this child. So I create this little mock schedule. A lot of people do it different ways, but this is just the way I do it. She has all of her stuff on her side of the desk. So she has all her morning work in a separate bin. And she will literally do that all on her own. That is not something we do together unless we're reading something together, like a story or something like that. So I hope this video was helpful. I have other things, or I'm going to show you how I actually go through and lesson plan for a week, and how I coordinate that schedule. I also have some ideas for, I have some flip throughs I'm gonna do for you guys too on some new stuff that I got. So that is it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know what interested you, if you want to further in depth on any of those things. And I'll be seeing you soon because I have so many videos to film and get out there for you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.